Our paper was the first to break the story that there were land swap discussions going on with the city.
He is a reporter with the Alberni Valley News, one of the more than 170 community news publications owned and operated by Black Press. The company was founded and is run by David Black, who was born in Vancouver. He studied engineering at UBC, where he met and married Anna Beth. They moved to Ontario so that David could complete his MBA at Western University. Upon graduation, he promptly went to work for the Toronto Star, analyzing deals for the paper. At the same time, his father was the owner of a community paper in Williams Lake.
Dad's hope was that I would take over, sort of reeled me in. Rather than telling me that I should do that, he would just start sending me the papers and sending me the P&Ls and ask for advice, and slowly but surely I got more and more interested. And then one day he wrote me a letter saying that he had an offer from someone for X amount of dollars and he was thinking of taking it. So I phoned him that night and said, Dad, you know, I wouldn't mind running my own business. Would you be interested in selling to me for that price? And there was this long pause, and finally he started to laugh, and he said, well, why do you think I wrote you the letter? He helped me buy into the company and co-signed the note at the bank, and then gave me advice from then on. So he was a great partner.
That was 1975. David was all of 29 years of age. He and his young family moved to Williams Lake and got started on what would turn out to be one of the greatest newspaper acquisition stories of the half-century.
So Ashcroft was the first, tiny little paper. Then Houston, Burns Lake, Vanderhoof, sort of a string of papers up north.
In an effort to reduce costs, David had centralized the printing of his small but growing chain of papers and sent them out in one batch to the various communities.
But we found that if we printed them all, put them all on the one truck and then dropped them off as the truck went along the road, we only had to justify the next 60 miles of travel for each paper by paper. So it worked out.
As the company started to take shape, David learned every single aspect of every job.
So over a period of 2 or 3 years, I got to do all the jobs and really got to understand exactly what had to happen to get a paper out the door. And since I've stayed in the same business ever since, I still know everything about the business. So when somebody says, you know, I need another person for my department, I can say, no, you don't. Or, yes, you do.
Over the next 10 years, he started to acquire more and more papers.
One time my dad stopped and said, well, we're just going to pull over and I'm going to get a paper. And my sister started crying and said, no, Dad, it always takes you so long to get a paper, thinking that he was going to go and buy a paper, buy the paper, the newspaper, the whole thing, not just go buy a 25-cent copy of the paper.
By 1985, the company had acquired papers on Vancouver Island, and David moved the headquarters to Victoria, where it is today.
By then we had started a new cluster down here in the island, and I needed to be here.
And then the pace really picked up. Over the next 24 years, the company has grown to more than 170 publications. The key to David's success is the team he's assembled.
It comes back to people. I mean, you've got to surround yourself with a good team.
Most of the people that work in a senior capacity in Black Press have worked with David for a long time, a number of years. You wouldn't get people to stay around if you didn't treat them with respect.
And that's something that's always been appealing in my career when I started working for Black Press, is that whether you're working an account list or whether you're starting a paper like I did, he allows you to grow that paper with the community.
David primarily is such an honest, straight shooter that that's something that comes across when you meet him for the first time, and it's something that comes across and has come across throughout all the time that I've known him, and I've seen him in many different settings.
David Black is clearly a visionary. At a time when many in the world of the media are uncertain about their future, he is still buying papers. His goal is to continue to grow his company. He is passionate about the role of newspapers in a democracy, and in particular, the role of community papers in recording and preserving the history of the jurisdictions they serve.
But I like it to a mirror that just reflects the society back to itself.
And a significant part of ensuring the success of the community is to give back.
He's started a scholarship program for students wanting to go to business school out of all the little towns that he has a newspaper in throughout BC. He would like his legacy to be a contributor.
And that's the essence of David.